evening, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
Hey, man, how you doing?
It's Tuesday already.
I know, man. Did you look?
Seems like
Did you look at the
it's
date? The date.
the 12, 10, 24?
Yes, December 10th. The year is 2024. Just like, what happened?
It's vastly departing.
Along with Steve and Joe Brett, might we say? And
they've
slap
been out of
them
PTO
silly.
for quite some time, and I hope they know they're going to get written up for all this.
I'm going to be I'm contacting our HR department, and I want to see how much sick time, PL time, vacation time, and honeydew time they have taken so far.
Yep.
Maybe you and I should take a vacation and let them run this
Well,
place.
I was on a little bit of a vacation last week because I came in late and all that kind of good stuff, but
I had to clean up. Listen, the peanut shells on the floor, cleaning the bathroom sometimes is just, yes, the beer cans. I want to know who the tops, the popcorn. The dishwasher was a mess. The dishwasher was. Why do we have a dishwasher in the clubhouse? I don't know, but nobody's taking.
Who's putting coffee grinds in the disposal?
Yes, was that beer snack again?
Quite possibly so. Goodness. Well, I want to say welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining us. There's 75 of you that got in here early. Thanks to everybody in green. Y'all are our monthly channel supporters, and the list of shields is growing as daily. So I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm still waiting for mine to show up. But those of you with a shield next to you have been supporting the clubhouse for 24 months, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
If you have a whiskey glass and a cigar, that's a 12-month contributor. Thank you guys so much for that. Hopefully you saw your name. For those of you that are in there, you saw that at the beginning of the stream. We can't thank you enough. We got some really cool ideas coming up for show number 200. Hard to believe. 200 shows.
When is that, Shane?
It is 5 shows from tonight, or 4 shows from tonight, because tonight is episode 195.
So when are we going to have a meeting to plan all this stuff?
Well, we kind of had a
I know
semi-meeting last week.
You know what we did. Yes, we stayed. Listen, we stayed late. We did burn. In all fairness, everybody, you know how we always
got some OT for that.
We did. Listen, we really did stay late that night. We stayed almost an hour after the show. We burned the midnight. Listen, the janitor and the alarm company were all knocking on the door saying, "Who the heck's in there and why?" Okay.
Right.
But no, really, we keep saying we're going to do something, and no, we've had some really good ideas.
It'll be planned like very last minute, I promise.
Yes, but
as
it'll
always.
work out as always. We are the fourth quarter boys. We are the ninth inning men.
That is very true. And I want to say special shout out. So I know we've got our extra by April coming up. So hopefully those of you who are looking to upgrade, when you get your license, and speaking of getting your license, it hasn't been posted yet. It probably won't be posted until after tonight, but I want to say congratulations to my brother, Randy. He passed his technician tonight. So hopefully he will get his call sign tomorrow. We have a special shout out to Chris. He is KD9YSW. Chris got his general.
Yes, I saw that last night.
Why he didn't wait until we did the extra by April? Unless Chris, let me know in the chat if you're going to go for your extra in April.
Is he here tonight? I saw him in Nuggets.
Okay,
because I saw him in Nuggets. I had to drop out early on Nuggets. Unfortunately, my son needed me for a school project, and I had to help him. And by the time I got back, the show was tying a ribbon. But Chris, congratulations, man! Nice job.
Yes, Chris, welcome. Radio and Life.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the general bands.
Welcome to HF.
Yeah.
Welcome to Static and all your neighbors' noise.
Welcome to 7.220 and 200 and
7.200 and 14.300 and all the antics that go along with it.
Exactly. as well as the gentleman on the 17-meter band where you can find myself and many others.
So Chris, 10 meters. 12, 15, 17, explore those.
And 60. Don't be afraid of 60 meters.
Don't be afraid of 60, right? Yeah.
Right.
But for antenna purposes, for those of you who are space limited like myself, use those higher bands.
Yes. Yes.
You can talk great distances on a very small antenna.
Yes.
We have a great orange dot to the sky that is doing wonders for our stuff.
Teeny tiny waves, 10 meters. As you know, I have been definitely. Listen. You see this face. I know it doesn't get any better. The face made for radio and for
the face made for POTA.
I haven't guys. Listen. Where am I tonight? Okay, I haven't had a cigar in over 7-8 days now. I haven't played any radio. I think it was Sunday night. I started walking around the house around 11 p.m. because I was just going crazy. Threw on the computer, checked some crazy email.
Threw up on the computer.
No. It wasn't that bad. Good. But I threw on the DX Heat. Thank you, John.
Oh, yeah.
John, you're absolutely right. That's
for those of you in the podcast, and I have to quickly apologize because I'm behind on getting episodes out of the podcast. But for those in the podcast, John says face made for CW.
Thank you, John. You're absolutely right. All of a sudden, I looked and I'm looking at where 10 meters was opening, still along the gray line. It was and 20 meters was still doing very, very well. 15 was it was very interesting, very, very interesting. Again, as you follow the gray line from around the world. So, and one of the fun things is again learning about this whole thing called solar cycles, because we know in about 8-9 years from now it's going to be different, and we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about the differences. So
we're going to be like, man, I can't wait for the sun to start waking up again.
Dude, you remember back in 2024, 2025? You remember, Shane, I worked you with a CB antenna from my house to your house on, only 50 watts. And,
right.
Again, those are great, campfire. And it's true stuff. It's not no fish. That's not a fish story.
Yeah. And I'm looking at DX Heat right now, and 10 meters is still open to South America right now.
Yeah, go figure.
So,
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, how's your week been? I mean, we hadn't officially jumped into that. Anything?
Well, I should have bought stock in Kleenex tissues.
That's very true.
Ibuprofen, antibiotics, but finally this antibiotic. Hey guys, I was telling Shane earlier. The first round of antibiotics they gave me said we don't like Izzo. We don't like Izzo. We're not. No, I'm not working with Izzo. Goodbye. And it just didn't work. A very adverse reaction. And I went back to the doctors and they finally put me on something different. It's all about love and chemistry and who likes Izzo and who doesn't. So I'm finally, it's just good to take a shower and shave and get up and walk around. I fired up the truck, got in the truck, drove around. It just felt very weird, but it's good though. It's really no
probably
plasma.
Nice to get out of the house.
Did you see what Plasma just said? I'm gonna bring him up. I'm gonna post. Doug, you laugh, my friend. You can laugh all you want, Mr. Plasma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Typical.
Where are you tonight, Plasma?
Well, apparently he's watching us, so we'll give him points for that.
And there's Chris Radio Life. There he is. I just saw his.
I see him. There in the chat. So thank you. Congrats, man. Hopefully you're going to shoot for extra by April. Hopefully the rest of you folks will be shooting for extra by April.
Yep.
More details to come on that. If you're not part of the Discord, there's a link in the description of the video. You should join our Discord because there is a chat that is solely focused on the extra by April. If you have questions about a question that you may not understand, or a theory that you may understand, we have almost. I looked at it the other day, and just so that I'm not lying, I went to check out where we're at on our server.
While you're doing that, Plasma, enjoy your 70 degrees, man. That's some great weather right there. 70 degrees.
Very good weather.
I love you, man. Love you, Plasma. I seriously, I hope all is well.
We have 952 people in our Discord.
Nice.
That's 952 people that can help you with a question.
Correct.
Or a theory or something.
So you know what they say about opinions and buttholes and noses.
Everybody's got one and most of them suck.
Right. So, but ask. No, seriously, ask.
But ask, yeah. But anyway, great support group. We hope you participate in the extra by April. I don't have another license to get since I got my extra last year. So,
well, that's not true. There is another license. There is a license that you will be. Why don't you tell everybody what you're doing this coming up?
So I have my written test scheduled for Saturday for my FAA commercial hot air balloon certificate rating.
Excellent. Congratulations. We'll be thinking about you.
Knock on wood. Everything goes well. So paid for that test. It's set up. And so we'll find out next week whether I'm ready to go on to the next step or not. That test, unlike the ham radio test, that test is $175. So.
Speaking of next week, real quickly. So I got an email from the guy who wears the red suit, the white beard. He says he will be in the area.
Oh, is he coming in early?
Well, he wanted to know if we wanted him to stop by. He says he doesn't have a lot of time. He said he's a busy man now. Even though the malls, see, it's very weird because a lot of the malls have closed. And that used to be a huge outlet for him and his team to, work it.
They had something to go and do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's just, an occasional Christmas party. They go out on the fire trucks. No, I don't. I mean, the ones around here have turned into just, something else.
Cell phone repair stores.
If even that. Ghost towns. Amazon, Walmart, the Best Buys, Dick's, they're all,
Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's looking.
And you can get it next day. So.
Right. And he's like, well, listen, I understand I can't do next day prime, but I'm still the big guy. So, but he'll be here. I said, no, come on. I said, and he started getting sad. I said, don't get sad.
Tell him we've got brownies for him.
Okay, I will. I'll shoot him a quick email just to confirm. And I said, listen, you're always welcome to the clubhouse. Santa is, come on. How do you say no to him?
I wish we knew we could get one of those special hats. It's got the clubhouse logo on it for him. We could give that to him, but I don't think it would get here in time by the time he shows up. So,
speaking of which, my stuff is absolutely fantastic. Thank you. If anybody's looking, Shane, you got the link. Drop it in the. If anybody's looking for, again, any type of, your family member, hey, what do you want? From a sticker to the coffee mug to a t-shirt. You know me, I love my quarter zips.
That you do.
Long sleeve t-shirts to short sleeve t-shirts. Well, the hats we said that we're going to wait, guys. You may want to wait. We're working on a hat.
Someone ordered a hat. So if you ordered a hat and you're not happy with that hat, I warned you. Yes. But let me know. It may be okay. I know they do heat transfers, and I was wanting to do like the whole patch thing.
Right. We're looking at something.
Yeah. So there's the link to the store. This week, last week it was 25% off and free shipping. So I try to post whenever it does because I don't have any control over it. Whenever it does the discounts, I try to post that so that.
All right. So
there's a great Black Friday special.
So to our buddy Paul, one of the crazy guys from
Paul,
up
put
north.
it in the Discord. I want to see it.
But you know something, man, you got to wear that when you jump for your next flight that you jump out of a plane. That the Northeast Ham stuff. I want you to be like the NASCAR guy.
With all the channels that support you.
Right. And when you get on the ground, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open up a bottle of Coke and you're going to drink it. I mean, that's fun. I love that.
I'm going to go to Disneyland.
Yes.
There's the shop. We got mugs. We got all kinds of stuff in there. I do like quotes from Christmas Vacation. So I got a mug in there. The new one is the one with the green bells and everything on it. So four-wheeling, brother. I don't know if we will ever see that, but I don't want to see you wearing that. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
But thank you, man.
But yeah, I have the coffee mug. Turned out great. So if there's something in there you like, Buy it.
Fully, and guys, just
all
remember,
that info comes back to the clubhouse.
Again, Shane, we got to say it. What you see on that screen is totally customizable.
Oh yeah, every bit of it.
You could move the patch. You could add your name. You could add your call sign. Put it on your sleeve. Put it on the back. But you want to put something on the back that says, "Hey, if found, roll me over," and you'll see my name. You could do a lot with it and have fun.
If you find me in the woods at Huntsville, here's the GPS location of where.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I like that.
I did a polo where I had the clubhouse logo on one side, then I had my call sign on the other. You can do like a logo on one side and like your call sign on the sleeve. That was really cool. You could do the call sign on hats.
Yep.
Hang on to the hat. Working on it. But yeah, if there's something in there you like, we appreciate it. Stickers, I see lots of people purchase stickers. But we appreciate it.
I slapped my stickers on my brand new Go box that I built on that Yaesu.
You should have brought it down there with you so you could show everybody what the sticker looks like. Put you on the spot.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
This is riveting content, everyone. We do have a guest, and guests will be coming to you in just a few moments. Izzo and I are trying to fill content. There it is. That looks good. That looks really good.
I got a box. Oh, can't see my eyes. Where's my eyes? Yeah, no, this is just look at that, folks. Look at that. I should just leave that. I should just leave that over my face all night.
Set that as your background.
if you again, hey guys, Go boxes, battery boxes. You want refrigerators in the garage. You want to hide a tank radio sticker, slap this over, or put it next to tank or partially over tank sticker.
Yeah, you can cover up tank radio. It's okay.
Yeah, you tell tank Clubhouse was here.
I'm quite pleased with the way that logo turned out.
Love it.
And it's representative of the dumpster fire. So those of you who see the fire behind the microphone, that's the total reasoning behind that was we wanted to show some appreciation for those that
absolutely
that light up the dumpster fire in Discord and watch the show. So, all right. And for me this week, I've been software development. We're wrapping up this program increment, and it has sucked. But we're almost done with it. And next year, hopefully, won't be near as intense. And so got the written test set for the balloon stuff. And then the only thing I have left after the written test will be to do the flight exam with an examiner. And then I'll have my commercial LTA. So you guys come to Texas and want to do a hot air balloon ride, we can do it.
Excellent.
So Izzo, by the way, there is a new airline coming to Dallas from Connecticut, so you should come fly in the balloon with me.
Let me tell you something. I was laughing because Jennifer and I, we were talking. We saw the news last night, and I'm like, wow. I said this is going to be very good. They were showing all the lines from, like, you know how we do our POTA contacts. They had the airport with all the lines with the different airports, and I'm looking. I said, I wonder if that's DFW. And sure enough,
nonstop to DFW. Yeah,
and when I saw that,
and it's $90 each way.
I know.
For the month of March, when I checked, it was like $90 each way.
Can you imagine me knocking on your door?
You'd make the dog bark, so just call ahead. I don't like to rouse him.
Would the dog, Matt? Wouldn't it be funny if the dog let me in?
Right.
He's gonna say you deal with him, not me.
Jason says, what's the hourly rate for balloon flights? Well, we don't really do an hourly rate. There is a per person per ride. And from the time we kind of all meet up to the time we all say goodbye is about 3 hours. And it's about $375 a person. And that includes usually some hors d'oeuvres and champagne toast at the end so that we can all celebrate having a fun flight. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And we're not officially doing rides yet, because we have a ride provider in town that we like to support. But if my friends come in and want to show the support, then we are more than happy to allow. All right, I have photos here. Let me open this in a browser. Holy cow, that's a big picture.
Guys are asking for our guest Kim. She will be here shortly.
She's
waiting very patiently.
Calm down.
We'll get to her. She has some wonderful. I know she's got some wonderful stories. She's gonna knock our socks off. So,
all right, let me share this right quick. Window that share. There we go. N1 OG with the polo.
Paul, nice.
And so we got the customized side here, but he went a step further. And he customized the back of it. So
the Grouch.
If you ever see Paul, there you go.
If you see Paul on his belly, you know who he is.
Yep, exactly. All right, well, let's bring in our guest. Kim, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up. And if you're eating potato chips, I'd like to give you a chance to finish, whatever you need to do. But let me stop that and let me welcome Kim to the stage.
There she is.
K6YYL, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking me. I love that. It's really nice.
And with the time difference too, that's, thank you.
Yeah, it's still early for me. So you guys are.
Are you on the East Coast, West Coast?
I'm west. I'm in Los Angeles County.
Okay, so what, 5:20 your time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 5:22. So yeah.
Excellent.
So it's probably still almost daylight out there.
It's actually getting dark now. Yeah, it's actually getting dark now. So I looked out the window over there. Yeah.
So Shane, I got to tell you.
Do tell.
I found Kim on the radio, and I think it might have been. I can't remember. I meant to look at how many times we've actually made contact. Because
I think it's once
or twice. I thought.
Yeah.
Definitely once. I thought it might have been two, but I know I've heard you, and trying to bust your pile up is always fun. And I think it was around 10 meters, maybe 20, or it was so, again, for my time, it was later in the evening, obviously, but your professionalism and just running everything. And then again, boom. And I just kept seeing you on that wonderful POTA spotting page.
Oh, thank you.
And I said, we got to get her on here. We have got Shane. I'm like, we have got to get this lady on here because I want to know what's going on, because then I went to her QRZ page, and she's got some great pictures, great bio. But I said, it doesn't.
Holy cow!
It doesn't tell everything. Once again, it's a teaser. It's a great
396 activations, 19,418 QSOs.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Over 3,000 hunting.
Wow. 63 parks.
60. I saw 64 with over 400 activations. Yeah, and numerous awards. There you go. Mike
says 32 QSOs with Kim.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Camry, POTA Papa. She has worked POTA Papa 32 times.
Maybe Papa POTA?
Papa POTA. Papa POTA.
Kim, what got you into ham? Was into ham radio? Is it a family thing? Is it just kind of on a whim? Or?
Well, when I was born with a microphone in my hand.
Okay.
Really?
My mom really had hard labor with that. Okay. So I don't know how
to say that might be a little tough.
Was it CB?
What
she
my well, I have to back up a little bit. I've always loved radio, because I remember we would go camping with my mom and dad and my brother and in their car and stuff. And I remember we would get up at dark 30 in the morning, and we would be driving to pretty far places and I remember listening to the AM, and I don't know why I was aware of this, but I could hear like the stations fading in and out as the sun was coming up. So I thought that was really interesting to hear one station fade and then another station come in on top of that one as the sun was. So I kind of had that awareness, and I always was fascinated by that. So then fast forward a little while later, my dad all of a sudden had a CB in his car. And this was like in the late 70s. And my dad never talked on it. I never saw him talk on it. And later, actually, maybe about a year or two ago, I actually asked him, I said, Dad, what was your CB handle? And he said, well, I never talked on it. And it was just in the car, and I talked on it.
It was just to listen for traffic.
I don't know, but I mean, he said I just never talked on it, but I did. And he had the FCC license and everything. And I even remember, because when I was talking on the CB, I took over, kind of gotten in of course I wasn't driving or anything, but I was just sitting there as a kid and on the CB. And I remember he said, now, when you're done talking, you need to give this license. And I think I actually still remember it was KBKK2839. It was like the FCC license. You had to ID back in the day.
That was back in the 70s. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
So, and I was hooked. And I remember, I would be it was my dad's 1966 Plymouth Belvedere, and I was sitting in that car, and they had a K40 on the trunk. And I remember my dad had a shop down in Ontario, and it was just cement. Everything was cement. It was cement. Everything cement. Road, driveways, everything. So it was just a cement box in the middle of like an industrial area where he had a shop. And I was sweating bullets there because it was 110. I was still in the car on the CB and on 11 meters and on AM. And I made this contact, and I thought it was really brief. But I made this contact, and he sounded different. And I was like, where are you located? And he said, Sydney, Australia. No. And I was hooked.
Wow.
I was hooked.
Especially on 11 meters.
That was back in I think 1980. Early 81. So, and then I just was hooked. And then I got a base station at my home, and it was like a President Washington or something like that with a big stick antenna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a big stick antenna on the roof and everything. And then, but during the time that I had still in the car, actually worked a guy named Larry George, and he was Super Sport. And later I married him.
Oh my God! Wow.
So this was before there were dating apps.
This was right. This was
meet your significant other over the
airwaves.
airwaves.
Yeah. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so, but no, but and that was the original way to meet people.
That's
awesome. That has to be a ham radio Hallmark movie right there. Right
CB
there.
radio, the original Tinder.
It was. So, and
most of those you wouldn't want to meet up with based on what they talk about.
Right?
But,
I know. So,
you're absolutely right. Ham radio Dateline. There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
So, and then let's see, we married in 90, and we're still married, and it's like almost 34 years, almost 35 years, and so when we do a lot of traveling in the RV, and let's see, how I got into amateur radio was I heard through CB about ham radio, and I was kind of interested and kind of heard about it, and then somehow I got into listening to the scanner and all that kind of stuff, and then shortwave radio as well, but that little ham radio thing was in the back there, kind of hearing about it. And then the bug was there. Yeah. And then in 94, I did start actually studying for it, but man, I just got so busy with life, and everything going on. And, so I had the Gordon West books and everything, and I was studying. And back then I think I can't remember if you needed the CW at the time. There was a time, there was a time you needed it, and then it was a no-code tech for a little while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I can't remember. I think I was studying for the no-code tech at that time, and life got so busy. So then, way forward to 2008, where my husband and I were refurbishing and redoing a lot of these Toyota Dolphin RVs. I don't know if you remember those, with the Toyota truck front and on this Toyota chassis. And it has the back end with the, cab over and bed and toilet and kitchenette and all that. So we had redone a lot of those, and we had listed one for sale. And I remember answering the phone, and this gentleman said, "Hello, my name is Dick North. I'm from Dallas, Oregon." And I was like, who is this? Who is the person who calls and says I'm whoever from Dallas, Oregon? I was like, that was kind of funny. And I was like, there's a guy here calling, and his name is Dick North from Dallas, Oregon. And so later on, he was interested in the RV. He came down and loved the RV, and he happened to see my shortwave antenna on top of the roof of the house. And I said, I was studying for, my ham radio license back so far one. And he was a VE. And he said, well, you don't need CW anymore. And I was like, really? Mm-hmm. And I kind of just joked with him. I said, because I was kind of busy then too. I had a family and homeschooling and all this, that, the other. And so I just joked with him. I said, well, I'd have to have a hand-me-down radio to get into it. And next thing I know, he sent me a Kenwood. Yeah, he sent me a Kenwood TS130S. It was used, and I was like, "Oh my god, I better pass." So I did, and I passed the technician license in April of 2009, and then I was a tech for quite some time. I stayed a tech until like 2015. But you know what? I'm glad because I didn't rush and get into all that, because you know what? I met a lot of great people, friends here, dear people now. You know, my Elmer AA6DD down here, you know, I always was interested in 6 meters, but that Kenwood didn't have 6 meters. But anyway, I met Will. Yeah, I met Will on the radio on 10 meters, and he heard my little tiny signal. And I was working off of a dipole my husband and I made for me, you know, and put this little tiny dipole up on top of the roof. And Will was in Paris about 30, 40 miles away from me. And he heard my little tiny signal. And he says, I have a, you know, vertical for you if you just want to come by and get it. And I was like, who is this guy? You know, because you're all of a sudden like, you know, who helps? All these people are so helpful. What's going on? You know? And so we met Will, wonderful, wonderful gentleman. And, you know, he's helped me. And so, like I said, I stayed on as a tech till 2015, but I had also then gotten into 6 meters because I had a Yaesu A57D. So I was on 6 meters then now too. And Will loves 6 meters. So I'm really into 6 meters as well. And it's like the band where they say you need the patience of a saint. And it is a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. And it really is. But
when it's open, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it was just open like about a week ago over to Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York.
So that's how I have to work. So that's how I have to work you then.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a Cushcraft 3-element beam that was probably made, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Found it at a tag sale. Real quick story. Still in the box. The guy was like, one of those, just get it out of here. Walked by it in the tailgate area. And I $5. He said, I'm not bringing it home. And I used it for one field day. And I got to tell you something, Kim, you were absolutely right. All my radios have always had 6 meters. Although I did have the 130 growing up like you that did. But I don't use it because I got to just throw it back up and leave it up. That's the whole thing. And once again, if you leave it up, and everyone talks about it. And now that you get me fired up, I keep thinking it's already assembled sitting in the garage. So now I'm wondering if I should just throw it up, throw it outside, and just maybe point it your way, point it to the south by southwest, and just see what happens. Just see what happens.
Yeah, call CQ all the time because, you know, I think a lot of people try to listen and then they listen for beacons and they listen for FT8, but, you know, you really have to be the noise. You know, you really have to.
Are you on the call? Do you start on the calling channel? How do you do 6 meter sideband?
Yeah, I do. I'm on like usually 50.125. You know, sideband, or I do 50.110 also is a good one. And then we have a lot of people locals who are on 50.300 FM in this area as well. Okay. So, and we're all vertically polarized here in Southern California. So,
I thought you were going to say we're all vertically challenged.
That's me at night. I'm like vertically challenged.
We have a guest tonight.
Sorry, I completely derailed that.
But yeah, it's a ton of fun, and I've actually worked New Zealand also on
on
6 meters. Yeah, I have a video on my YouTube channel of the recording I made, and that was like May of was it May of 2023 or 2022? I can't remember, one of the two. And so I recorded that contact of New Zealand from Southern California on 6 meters, and that was, I think it was on 50.110 sideband. So
it is, and I'll play that here in just a minute for everybody to watch. And I did post a link to your channel.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully everyone will run over there and subscribe to the Ham Radio Lady. I need to pause for one quick second because I want to acknowledge TC Fitz. Thank you for the $20 super chat. We appreciate that.
Well, brother.
And there is this absolute tool in the chat named Daniel that says $20 Canadian to Kickstarter contribution for the Ham Radio Clubhouse to pay. I don't know who he's talking about. I don't know.
I got hair.
So I guess it's got to be me. And thanks to the Grouch N1 OG for the 5 gifted Clubhouse memberships.
Thank you, brother.
And let me scroll over here real fast. That's going to be Douglas V Amateur Radio, Peter O, Matt KM K6YYL, Corey, N1XWS, and Big Apple Amateur were recipients of that gifted membership. So thank you so much for that. Okay, enough of that. So back to the vertically challenged.
Yeah, my vertically challenged is when I'm in bed and I don't want to get up out of bed in the morning. I want to just lay there.
Right. So real quickly, 50.110, correct?
Was the contact, to New Zealand. I'm sure that was the one. So.
Are a lot of people hanging out in the sideband portion of the band, do you think?
Well, I think, and I'm not, I don't have anything against FD8. Some people do, and I don't care. I love that people have what they want to do, and that's fine. But I like to make a lot of noise on 50.125, call CQ as much as I can, even though there's times where I don't think it's going to be open, and but I still do. And then we'll find locals too that are just here, and they're like, "Wow, I've been listening to 6 meters. I haven't heard anybody," And so then, but it's a ton of fun, and just get on there, make noise. And Will and I have had lots of discussions. We have many discussions on my YouTube channel of like 6 meters. I actually re-listened to one of my shows from, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago. And it was something like named Santa riding the jet stream, and it's a talk on 6 meters on the, and it was around, this time of year, 6 or 7 years ago. And it talks about the jet stream, talks about 6 meters and openings and sporadic E and when sporadic E may happen, when, so it was kind of good to hear all that, and because it's always a refresher. It's always a refresher.
So Greg says that you helped him make his very first 6 meter contact at Chino Hill State Park for his POTA activation.
Oh, you're welcome.
There you go. Everyone questions, is 6 meter open? Well, just plug your antenna in and start calling.
Yeah, you have to. You can't just rely on listening for beacons either, because Will and I were talking, and that you would really need one beacon for every 2 square miles to really know where it's open. Basically, it's so spotty. It's a really spotty band.
I quickly muted myself. So I'm down in the shack. I have access to my DX Commander right now. My DX Commander just loaded up on 6 meters.
Good.
And I'm watching the waterfall here on my 7300, and I'm seeing things. I could hear some faint conversations here in this IBM portion.
Oh, good. You may have some locals there. You may have a little opening.
Yeah, and I know it's probably going to be a long shot, but upstairs in the shack, I run my 705, sort of permanently, being winter, but I can grab it and go and take it anywhere. Oh, and if I need, I could bring a different radio in there, just a hot swap out. But it's very interesting what I'm hearing right now as we're talking. This is absolutely fantastic.
Good.
It's a band that I just haven't explored. I have been lazy and procrastinating to explore it. It was sort of like 17 meters. And when I found out more about, like the work bands of 12 meters, and, I a couple weeks ago, I had a 12 meter POTA contact. I loved it. I love 12 meters on
it's a great band. 12, 15, and 17 are great bands.
Right. Yeah. And especially 12 meters, which again is so close to the 11 meter between 10 and obviously it's the characteristics are just so close. But this is really interesting what I'm hearing. So, oh my God, Kim, this is
good. I'm glad. Yeah, and just keep on calling CQ, and I always tell people, when you think you've called CQ enough, you haven't. You have to do it till you're practically blue in the face. Right, it really is a band to,
Is there like indicators of, say, something in another band that's showing propagation? Is there kind of some sort of indice that people could look for to say, you know what, maybe I should jump down to 6? Is there something to kind of look for?
Yeah,
a specific time of year, maybe?
Well, for talking about locations, kind of in that 500 to 600 mile radius. Like if like here I'm in Los Angeles, and maybe if I hear somebody like in, I think it was like New Mexico, I will think, I wonder if 6, and sometimes I'll do that. I'll go to 6 meters. Oh, on 10 meters. I'm saying, if I'm hearing somebody on 10 meters in New Mexico
on ground wave,
then I go over to 6 and see if there's an opening, and sometimes there is. So that's one of the indicators for me. 400, 500, miles like that. It's like that. And what else was I gonna say? Yeah, time of year. There may be some sporadic coming up. One of the times Will and I were talking about was kind of in a weird way, right around Christmas Eve, and Christmas is one time where 6 meters might open as well. So 6 doesn't open nearly as much in the winter as it does in the spring and summer. May is usually a better time for 6 for sporadic E, but it's a ton of fun. And just keep calling CQ.
So Mike says PSK Reporter and DX Maps are great for figuring out where 6 is open.
It could, but be that person making noise, because I think a lot of people just
noise.
Yeah, be the noise. Be the noise.
Be the noise. You are the noise. Be the noise. You are the noise.
Make noise.
That's awesome. I've yet to make a 6 meter contact, and I want to jump on that. I tried. When I had my technician, I had a little QRP 6 meter radio, and I had a loop antenna or a hoop antenna, and couldn't hear anything.
Oh,
so
well, a vertical is good. Yeah, and a vertical is really good if you can get the hopefully at least 33 feet up. At least for vertical for 6 meters. But if you have a tower, then it doesn't matter if you're vertical or horizontal. But yeah, it's just if you can get it up at least 33 feet if you can. So
Plasma says embrace your inner windbag. And
yes, exactly. Exactly.
Or if you're like Mike or how I used to be, you can record your CQ on your 7300 and just hit loop.
Well, yeah.
And I
was doing it on one of my radios that didn't have a voice recorder. So I was doing it till I was like really,
so you were blue in the face.
Yeah. So that was on the Kenwood 480HX. I didn't have a memory card or whatever or anything like that to do a voice, but yeah.
So what jump started you into POTA then? What got you into POTA?
I didn't get into Parks on the Air until 2021. And because I had a friend, he's passed away now, Kilo Alpha 8 Hotel, I think it is, Mike Lewis, he was doing Parks on the Air. And we were friends. We met through radio, and he said, you should do POTA. And I was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, yeah, you should. You go out camping all the time, and it'd be great for you. You'd love it. And so I was like, oh, I don't know. And so I did. And my first activation was a flop because I didn't allow enough time to, get the 10 contacts in. And then we were parked at I think we were at Carpinteria State Park, and we were in one of the loops with all these other RVs. So they were generating a lot of noise. And so I couldn't hear very well on the radio. And so I got like 1 or 2 shy of the first day activation, but I did make the next day, I think it was. Excellent. But it was it was fun. I was like, I was a little nervous, but I did it. And I don't like logging things, but I will log on QRZ, but I was thinking now I have to log something for Parks on the Air. Yep. So thank God for hammers. I like hammers. It was just super easy. I still use it. I know there's another, I guess, Polo or something like that. But I kind of have a muscle memory for hammers. I already know what I'm doing. And
according to Mike, there's a new Hammers Pro coming out that's going to have a bunch of innovations in it as well.
Oh, nice! So I really like hammers.
You're like just like anything else. Find what works for you.
Yeah.
And your style. And I've used hammers. I've used Apollo. World Radio League now is out with their stuff. Everybody's doing something, and we all keep paper as a backup.
Yes, right.
That regardless.
Yeah.
Have fun. Do it your way. That's one of the beautiful things that should be about POTA that I really like and embrace. And I want to hear more how you do it. But again, do it your way. So what's your way now? Like
it's paper log at first, everything's all paper log. Very rarely will I have my laptop with me and start logging on hammers while I'm doing that, at the same time. I like being able to write down little notes with what people say, on the, I love that, just like they were talking about their blueberry farm. I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's really, inviting me to come and see it sometime. And I'm like that. And so I write these little notes down. I have stacks of logbooks now, and I love that. So go ahead.
Do you have, so when you're paper logging, do you have like a column of the hour or the half hour that you're at so that you keep track of the time? Or do you have like a clock in front of you that has you just write the time down?
Yeah, I'm pretty like just sloppy, I guess, but I still write all the time and the frequency on every single, log for everything, because if I switch bands, I don't want to go, oh no, what was I on? Because I don't want to forget like what band it was. If I switch bands, I'm always writing every time I'm making a contact, I'm writing their call sign, the UTC time, and I'm writing the frequency, and it takes a little bit more time, but I know if I get sloppy and I don't write down that frequency or the time, I might switch bands and then I'm messed up. I don't want to like lose a contact, because I will upload to QRZ and I want them to get those, contacts confirmed as well there.
Right.
So, but yeah. And then sometimes we'll take the Jeep up to the mountains up there, up north. We've got Angeles National Forest and the San Gabriel Mountains National Monument up there is like a twofer. So we'll just take the car up there or the Jeep or whatever. And I think I sent you one of the pictures of the Jeep up there, and Mount Baldy is right behind us.
Yes.
That's a big, it's also known as Mount San Antonio, and that tall mountain is like 10,000 feet elevation.
Wow.
Yeah. People have died trying to hike that. It's a very treacherous hike. You really need to know what you're doing. Yeah, it's. I guess a celebrity had died maybe a year or two ago trying to, and they couldn't find him for a while, and they eventually found him. But yeah, so it's
what was left.
Yeah, you have to be so mindful. You think you're just going to go hiking, but that weather can change up there. But anyway, it's beautiful. I love it. And so we'll go up there and I'll do the activations up there, and I'll throw the magnet mount on the car. And my husband's on a ham, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Even though he did. No, he won't. He's not.
I saw that.
No.
I find that very, not strange, but is he just like, it's just not for me, but he's a seabirder though, right?
He was, but briefly.
Okay.
But briefly. So that was in the like 80s. So that was enough to meet me, and that was it, I guess. I either made it or spoiled it for him.
Where is he right now? Get him on this kid.
I think he's watching in the den. So he's trying to
come on the show and say hello to us.
Yeah, well, I wish he would, but
right.
No.
Well, we're trying to convince him that he should get his ham license.
We don't push anybody. In all seriousness, we don't know. Everyone's got to do it if they want it on their own, how they want. Yeah. And if not, listen, your support, just enough alone, just hanging out with you is enough, right? I'm sure that's going.
I'm surprised you don't have him log in for you. Like,
oh,
if you're
no.
Him, he can
does he
write down these.
Does he set up any antennas? All right, come on, give us the skinny. Does he?
He's very nice, because he will, when we'll go up to Mount Baldy, sometimes we'll grab like a sandwich up there, and he says, well, do you want to eat when I'll put your antenna up? I'm like, sure, thanks. Or, when we go camping, I always bribe him with like, I'll make you a lunch if you put my antenna up, so.
It's funny because a while back, she's going to kill me. Judy from Pennsylvania. I can't remember her call sign. It's 3 Land. Her husband is a great guy. He helps set her up. He goes, has his cigar, and he's done. And she just makes a bajillion contacts and then helps her packs it all away. And everything. They're great people. I've worked them, hundreds of times. From POTA to New England QSO parties, 13 column, whatever. It's always fun. So there are couples like that, and it is what it is. You mentioned a couple things. So what are you using right now for a radio, Kim? What do you like?
So when I go parks on the air or go camping or whatever, I'll bring my ICOM 7300. Yeah. And I like that because the voice recorder is amazing. That thing is just like, that is just the best thing, it does, because you can put that on repeat and it will repeat for quite some time. And I don't know if I have the Yaesu FT710 and it does have the voice recorder, but I don't know if it will repeat over and over and over again when you want. I haven't learned how to, right, without hitting the button.
I have to tell you one thing. when you were talking about 6 meters before, that's what I said. I'm going to, because I made a note here on my pad. I'm going to program one of my buttons on my 7300 for 6 meters, because you were talking about the repetition of calling CQ, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep hitting that button. It's a great feature. ICOM did and they made it real easy to you can listen to it, save it if you need to change. Changing it on the fly is real. I mean, I have I have a generic one. I have my POTA one. I think I have something else for one of the QSO parties. But and then I think it's a total of 6 presets you get. They've done a really nice job.
They have, yeah.
So once again, ICOM, thank you.
And when you do, let me say real quick, when you do your recording for 6 meters, say your grid square. This is K6YYL and Delta Mike 14.
I'm going to note that right now.
Calling CQ.
Thank you.
Because it's great, because then whenever you travel, then you can find out what other grid square you're in, and then call CQ and with that grid square.
Right.
I guess there are a lot of people that are hunting grid squares in 6 meters because it's difficult for it to be there.
Right, right.
What about antenna? What sort of antenna do you use for POTA?
Okay, for POTA, I have Sharks, and also known as ham sticks, but their Shark brand is Shark. Sure. I love those. Some people hate those, but man, I've had so much good luck with those. The quick disconnects are great. I mean,
absolutely.
If you're gonna do
that's the way to go.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. And we have the Goliath magnet mount, but that thing is pretty, very heavy. Yeah. And my husband, not being a ham, he doesn't want marks on the car. So I have, this sounds funny, I have parchment paper from,
I've heard of that. That's not funny. I've heard of that.
You put it on there and you stick the magnet mount on, and then, it's all good. There's no problem.
Good for baking.
Yep,
as well
and ham radioing.
Well, we have this guy, his name's James, and he has this shop called Quirky QRP. And he actually sells these little things that will go underneath the feet so that you don't get a scratch on your magnet. I'm just trying to find a link for it, but I thought that
I was thinking of him. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about for 6 meters? What antenna for that?
Yeah. What do you use for that?
I have a 6 meter Shark, for that as well. But then at home here, I have a 6 meter vertical, and then Will AA60D made me a. I think if you see on my QRZ page, you'll see the RV, and you can see the Shark antenna on the front bumper, but then on the back is a blue antenna, and that's a vertical. He says it's a 5/8 over 5/8.
Can we bring that up for her, Shane? Shane, do you have access to that picture?
I will find it. Let's see. You said that was on your QRZ page?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the RV, and then on the back of the RV, you'll see a blue painted antenna. Will made that, and that does 6 meters, and pretty much any band I can tune it with a tuner as well. So, and then there's counterpoises on that as well.
While you do that, our buddy Mike, N2MAK from New York State, Mike's a great avid, he's operating all the bands, sideband, AM. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah. See, you can barely see the RV. The RV there has the blue antenna on the back. So that's the antenna that Will made. And there's a little coil there. On there is a little coil, and he made that for 6 meters, I believe that. And then also on my YouTube channel, there's a video somewhere and all that. When Will was dropping that antenna off to me, we were talking about it, how he made it, and all the counterpoises and links and all that. So if anybody wants to see how to do that and make that, it's on my YouTube channel. So when Will dropped it off for me, so that thing has gotten so much mileage.
And that picture on the front bumper was the tri-mag with a vertical stick.
Because I'm not allowed to put it on the paint.
If you're making contacts, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think at that time I had that Shark on there for 80 meters at the time also. So.
Do you still have the vehicle?
The RV, yes. I still have the
excellent.
RV, yeah.
So when did you guys pick up the RV? How long ago?
That one was, I think it was in 2020, like November of 2020. I mean, we've had so many RVs over the years. I mean,
you have.
I can't even count.
So you're an RV family.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're an RV family. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love it. I just love it.
Yeah.
I saw when I was seeing I was doing a little bit of homework about you, and I was looking at where you reside and all the parks and that whole California, Nevada area that you can. I'm sure you guys have just fill up the tank and let's go, and
Yeah.
throw the sticks in the back and grab a radio and go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
battery power. We always want to know, what are you using for a
Right,
battery
right.
power, Tim?
At first, I was using the RVs. Was it the 2 AGM batteries? We had
Yep.
in the RV, but now I've graduated to the Bioenno 40 amp hour, which is
There you
so
go.
great. Oh, it's
Isn't
so
it?
great. Yeah, yeah, and it's in the PowerWorks box. Oh my
Yep.
gosh, that thing is so great. I love that, and so I just grab that and go, and yeah, it's been a great.
I am very, very, my KAMRD got me into POTA. He was
Oh wow.
Papa POTA was my inspiration about 6-7 years ago now. And of course, battery power is a component of
Mhm.
how are we going to do this. There's so many
Right.
components, and so I, just like they say, buy it once, cry once.
Oh yeah.
Buy once, cry once, right?
Yeah.
And those batteries, I have 2 of them, and they are still chugging along. There is no issues with them after all these years. I mean this as no disrespect to the newer batteries that have come in these 100 ampere hours, smaller, lighter. I get it. If you're in the market for it, absolutely go for it. But back then, we just didn't have that. So not to sound like the old man here, but right now I'm not going to replace my 40 ampere hour battery because it's just doing so well. I don't have to, but I know when it does come to time, I'll be buying something, maybe 2 to 3 times the size of power, but less in weight. But overall, though, my battery box is not a problem. I love it. It's there's many times when I'm in I'm in my Eskimo hut, here in the house, playing Winter Field Day or whatever. I'm running a radio. I'm running the iPad. Maybe I'm running a light or something. It just does it all, and it does it very well. It's not something. I just remember back in the days of using deep cycle batteries, car batteries, and just playing that game.
Motor batteries,
yes,
batteries,
deep
cycles.
My lawnmower battery was just absolutely horrible. It was probably, I don't know, probably 3 ampere hours at best. And just, the voltage drop, our electronics doesn't like it. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, one thing too.
Good.
Oh, one thing about the RV is my husband installed the solar system on that too. So it's always charging. I'll have to ask him. I would love for Larry, if you're watching,
Larry, come on and tell us about Larry. We are all playing with solar around here.
I know he needs to get on. So
oh my God,
I know.
Nope.
I know, but
we're gonna. So after the holidays, I want Larry to come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll run that by him, and
Well, no, seriously, I would love to see because listen, we got guys in the chat here, TO. There's a whole bunch of other people who are doing RVs and solar here and there, and guys who are these extended weekends, between Winter Field Day and do you do Winter Field Day?
I've done it a few times. I don't know if I'll be doing Winter Field Day this year with my dad in the situation. We'll see. And if I do, it would be maybe super clut by.
Right.
What type of weather conditions in the past have you had for Winter Field Day?
A desert, up off Johnson Valley Road, up near Barstow.
You're in a desert.
Well, we can drive pretty close. We can drive pretty close.
It's California, so right on the other side of the
mountains. Oh my God, I would never
desert.
think of let's go operate Winter Field Day. I love it.
Yeah. And one back thing about the solar is that we have a little charger. I can charge the battery through the solar on the RV. But back in 2004, before all the houses pretty much were getting all the solar companies putting on solar systems on people's houses, my husband bought all of the solar equipment, all the inverters, everything he needed, and he did all the work and put solar on the house
all by himself.
All by himself. Yeah, he's a jack of all trades kind of guy.
Larry, you rock.
He does. He does.
Larry, you rock, man. I like that.
And he just retired in May, so he was working for Collins, I think it was. They've changed their name so many times, Aerospace, and
Yes.
I can't keep track of all the times that they've changed.
Well, Larry has a lot of time now to take care of and do all this stuff.
Well, and sadly, now that my dad had a stroke, he's having to do all this. So, but I'm so glad and thankful that he's doing so much and so involved helping my dad as well. And so, but yeah, Larry's really good. He's he's really good at everything. I mean, just everything, cars, roofs, all that kind of things. I mean, we've roofed one of our houses in the past together, and but then we did the solar system here. I think it was 2004, and yeah, it's been great. And I'm glad that he did it the way he did, because he used the big, I think it's called Sunny Boy inverters, and those are great because they don't add any noise to the radio, which I've heard one of my other friends. Yeah, one of my friends who's a ham also said that when he had solar put on, they used a ton of micro inverters, and it made a ton of noise on his radio. That's
what I've heard as well.
So yeah,
super noisy.
Yeah, he had to, I guess, fight with the solar company and say, I didn't have this noise until these inverters were on. Mm-hmm. And he actually, to prove his point, I think he got a bunch of black tarps and covered all the solar up. And then was able to listen and have no noise. And then when he uncovered all the solar, he heard it. And I was asking him, I said, it drove me crazy for a while, because I was trying to get an answer from him. I said, what was your noise? What was the noise? What was causing the noise? And then he finally said it was the micro inverters. And then his solar company changed it all out. So he doesn't have that problem anymore. So if you're a ham and you have solar and you're all of a sudden getting noise, it might be those micro inverters.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So I did want to share this. I found it. So James over there at Quirky QRP, these are called the mag mount antenna vehicle finish protectors.
Okay.
And he has a couple of examples here. But yeah, so it's a piece that fits on, sticks on there, and then it keeps it off of your off your paint job.
Oh, that's great.
James is absolutely incredible.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
So there you go. I posted the link over at Quirky QRP.
Yeah, because I think it creates, like a little electrolysis on the paint as well, if I'm not mistaken. So with the energy and all that. So
hey guys, I just drew the banner up for the Quirky. We sometimes we forget this, James. We apologize. Christmas time, guys. Excellent. You have an idea. You need something for a stocking stuffer, for a gift, and look at those discounts. Look at those discounts that our brother James is offering year round for anybody who's watching right now. So again, get your product from Quirky QRP. How you like that for a plug?
That's a radio voice if I've ever heard one. Get your stuff at Quirky QRP.
Hey James, if you want me to cut a couple commercials for you, I will.
James, thanks for supporting this show, man. He donated so much stuff for us to give away this last go around. So appreciate it. It's the least we could do.
And Brent and Kim, I guess Brent, N4 Bravo Delta Whiskey is saying hello.
Hello, he came
of you and your family.
Thanks. And he came out last July, not this July, but July of 2023, for I think a company seminar out in San Diego area. So I went with my husband Larry, and we camped down at Silver Strand State Beach, so Brent could come and activate in California because he's from Kentucky. So he came out and activated with me. So that was fun. So thanks, Brent.
Well, Izzo, do you want to fire off our lightning round? I don't have my sound effects up.
Play the music. It's like you remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The lights will go down. Oh my God, we need that. Where's Joe Brett when you need him? All right,
traveling. I mean, that's close. Oh, don't repeat. How do you make it stop?
You can't stop it.
Somebody make it stop.
That's what everyone says about me. Izzo, just stop. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Kim. Are you ready? You have survived the clubhouse.
Sure, I'm ready.
Our famous. Well, first, wait. Before we do this, we got to do the motion, Shane.
Oh, that's right. Do you want to make the motion?
I make the motion that we
All right.
have Miss Kim, and Larry has to come on in the future.
I
Larry
hope
has.
so.
That is a requirement for your admission to
Something
the Ham Radio
tells
Clubhouse.
me you and Larry, we could spend another hour or two just talking with you guys about
Easily.
stuff.
Easily.
Yes,
Oh,
we
thanks.
want
Yeah.
you guys to please consider it. So, I make a motion that she becomes a member of the clubhouse.
There's
We
only
will-
two of us, so I'll second
All right.
I
We
hope
do
my
have
odds are
members.
okay.
We have members in the chat, so if you agree with adding Kim to the Ham Radio Clubhouse, please
Press
put
one.
a 1 in the chat
That's
so that we
And-
can have fellow members to give us an all in
We
favor.
will also prorate her dues for 2024.
Oh, wow. Since there's only a few days left.
Yeah, exactly.
2025, you will get a bill from us.
Oh, okay.
Look at all the ones. Great.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got some great people.
Oh,
We
thank
always
you.
do. We always do.
All right, time for the lightning round.
All right.
So Izzo, let's talk about what the purpose. The purpose is to don't think.
Okay.
Kim, we want the first thing that pops into your mind after
Okay.
he asks the question. Don't try to overthink it. Just the first thing
right.
that pops into your mind.
Okay. Are you ready?
I think so.
Question number 1. Chicken, fish, or steak?
Steak.
Oh, that was
How
quick.
do-
Okay.
Okay. How do you like your steak?
Medium. Sometimes a little pink, but medium mostly.
Okay.
But not like a shoe sole.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Okay. And what do you like on so here's your plate, there's the steak. What kind of fixings you have around it? Whatever you want. You and Larry are at the restaurant, you're in the backyard, whatever you want. What is your ideal plate? with your
I
steak?
would love probably like mashed potatoes, with butter or gravy,
I'm with you there.
kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I love my mashed
With you.
potatoes, unfortunately, right?
I'm with you there.
Yeah, I know. That's the hard thing. And then I like a little tiny bit of salad and a little bit of broccoli, not a ton, and yeah, just stuff like that. Maybe like a little biscuit or something on the side, maybe, but no, that steak is the best thing.
Sounds like Texas Roadhouse is your ideal place.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
What would you have to drink with your steak? Anything you want.
Right. I don't know. Maybe a Coke or a tea. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Now, if I was
I'm
going
a
for
beer
Mexican,
person, so
yeah, if I was going for Mexican, it would be a Cadillac margarita
there you
with
go.
my Mexican.
There you go.
What's a Cadillac margarita?
Well, it's a margarita, right? But with an extra shot of like Grand Marnier.
Oh,
So, yeah, on the side, and then you just pour it
okay.
in there. So.
Okay.
Learn something new every night here.
I haven't had one in
Every
a while, so I haven't had any alcohol in a while because I'm dealing with my dad, and I don't know when I'm
Larry,
going to
if
get
you're
up and
listening, Larry, if you're listening, a Cadillac margarita is in your future.
Yes.
Heard it here first.
Question number 2. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Rocky Road.
Okay,
Interesting.
that's respectable.
Cone?
Yeah.
Do you put it on a cone and throw it in a dish?
Cone or cup?
Yeah, cone or cup.
A cup, probably.
Any
See, I'm
fixings-
a waffle cone lover.
Yeah.
Especially it's one of those where they make it like they make the waffle cone like fresh.
Yeah.
And it's kind of still anyway. That's
Yeah,
just-
I'm thinking about the heat sometimes in California, and when I've had cones, and I'm just seeing all that ice cream drip down and fall on the.
That just means you got to eat it faster.
That's probably true.
Got to eat it faster.
Absolutely. All right. Question number 3. What's your favorite snack?
Please say barbecue potato chips.
Right. I can't. Okay. Pork rinds.
Okay.
Really?
Spicy, regular,
Just
Cajun?
regular. Just
Regular.
regular.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like barbecue potato chips or not?
I do, but I really I do.
Larry.
What I like is if I'm gonna eat potato chips, I want my own dip, and it's a sour cream, an onion dip. You know, where you get this
Oh yes.
sour cream and you mix in the onion soup mix. That is it.
Mhm.
That is it, man. That's my weakness
But it
there.
has to be like kettle chips.
Oh,
The
really?
really crunchy ones, because like the really regular Lay's potato chips, they suck for dipping because you dip them and they break in half. So
you got to get the ridged ones.
The ridged
that
ones.
helps.
I just
That helps.
That's true.
Yeah.
The ridged or also the wavy. Yeah, the ridged or the wavy are made for dipping. Yes. All right. And your final question, Miss Kim, for the evening. What is your favorite band?
Queen.
Oh, nice! Finally, we have so many people that get asked that question. They're like, I like 20 meters. I like 40 meters.
Oh,
but no. All right, good. I saw Queen last year at the American Airlines Center. I paid way too much for tickets, but quite possibly one of the best shows I've been to. I wish I would have been able to see them when Freddie Mercury was here, but the Adam Lambert show was just off the chart.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. No, I had to say a band, like that.
Absolutely.
Love Queen. Yeah, love Queen.
All right, so
they just re-released their original Queen 1. They just re-released that on vinyl, so that will be added to my collection very soon.
Excellent. So Kim, on the ham bands though, what do you like? What do you like for the ham bands?
I do like 10 meters a lot, and 6, of course.
So what happened? Okay, but what happens when we move through the cycle?
I know, right? Well,
so what do you do? What's your backup, or like what's your option B, option C?
So I'll have to say this because when I got my license, 10 meters back in that time in 2009, I think it was really in the doldrums. It was really, so I kind of built a lot of patience, I think, on just being able to call CQ endlessly, then finally have some people come up and, be able to tell people, hey, I worked this person on 10 meters. I worked this person on, well, hello. I worked, a lot of 6 and 10 meters and back, like I said, in times where it was just like nobody there pretty much, you think it's bad now. It was like,
sure. Well, you're back. That was the bottom of the cycle. We were in the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I do like 12 and 15 and 17. Those are really fun bands. I like 12 probably because it's a very small section. It's not a very large band.
No, it's not. No,
and 15 is huge in comparison, and that's nice. I like doing Parks on the Air on 15 because you have so much space on 15 meters. And then 17 is really good too. I've made some really nice friends that sadly one has passed away, and we used to be on 18165 quite a lot, talking all the time. And there was kind of like a gang of us talking there. And the Rag Chew when Sean passed away, KI7KX, we were still there, but not as much. And so one time I'll go and activate on 18165. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to go back there to start talking. And finally, I do activation on 18165. Even though there's kind of a gatekeeper there now.
Well, let's run it. Yeah, off. Right. I'm all about that.
He was like, so we had been on there for 17 meters for years talking, right? And then I hadn't been on there in quite some time because Sean had passed, and it was really hard for me to get back there. So I finally went and did an activation. I did it on 18165. And this guy, I know who he is. I'm not going to out him or say who he is.
You should. It would be.
No, I'm not going to. He's been better.
We won't.
He's been better.
Send him a random bag of phallic things either.
Yeah, right. He's actually, I kind of had to tell him in a way, because he said, that 18165 is like a lot of Japan DX coming in, right? And I was like, I know about 18165. I used to be on here all the time with my friends. So don't give me this baloney about this and that. And if Japan wants to work me, they can work me.
Tell him he's 18162.
Yeah, right. Well, he knows who he is. And so then finally he was a little bit more nice to me after a while. And then, he wasn't mean, but when you jump in and say something like that, and he didn't ID at first.
Of course not.
Yeah. So finally then later
most cowards don't.
Yeah, then finally later he ID'd. So but I know who he is, and I will go and activate there.
You could send me the call sign in a private chat.
Okay.
That way you're not associated with it, and I'll take care of that.
Well, he hasn't given me a hard time anymore anyway. So, because we have other friends who I think he overheard me talking to one of my other friends who was there, on that frequency talking, and then he kind of realized, oh, okay, I guess she's belongs there. Well, everybody belongs there. It's not, his band, his personal schedule band, with Japan or whatever, you
I wrote it down
wherever.
to go to 18165.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, everybody go to 18165. Do your Parks on the Air activations there.
Yes.
All the time. That's the only one. That's the designated Parks on the Air frequency, 18165. Exactly. That's the only one.
And Hayden, of course, in the chat, Ham Radio DX. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thank you,
Hayden. Need to get Hayden on 6 meters.
What's that?
You need to get Hayden on 6 meters.
I know. I would love that. So got to get more people out there and make the noise on 6 meters.
Make the noise. I love that. Make the noise. I love that slogan. Make the noise. Make the noise.
Is the band open? We'll go make some noise and find out.
That's right. That's right. One of it too. You really need to like I said over and over, call CQ forever. And I remember there was this other guy, not the same guy, but there's sometimes the gatekeepers, right? And Will and I would be out on 50.125 in the doldrums trying to make noise on 6 meters, 50.125. And one guy's like, oh, well, you guys are just there talking, yeah, but we're also saying,
my God,
yeah, I know, right?
Radio.
I know,
forbid.
right? Oh. And so I know, right?
Exactly.
So then we're always asking constantly, are there any breakers? And then we'll call CQ as well and stuff like that. And it was funny because actually not months, but it was maybe a couple years later, I heard him briefly calling CQ there on 50.125, and he's like, where's all the activity?
You ran us off.
I know, right? Yeah. He's like, he didn't. I didn't even come back to him, but he was like, where's all the activity?
Hey, guys, before I forget, I'm sorry. Before I forget, I'm calling out our brother, James Hannibal.
Uh-oh.
James makes stuff that a lot of us have said and done and effed up or whatever. Make some noise should be... James, where are you in the chat?
T-shirt, yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be a T-shirt. I want to see a grill and apron. I want to see a bumper sticker.
Make some noise.
James, I want you to use your. Yes, you are, James.
Your influence.
Use your imagination, your ingenuity, your genius 2 a.m. ideas about what this wonderful lady has said. Make some noise, whatever, however you want to sing it. Listen, yes, you can make them into Crocs, slippers, bathrobes. I don't care, whatever you have got to do. Yes. There you go,
Mike. Says, bro, do you even make noise on 6 meters?
Yeah, you have to. You gotta make that noise on 6 meters.
And I want you to put Kim's name right underneath it.
Yeah, there you go.
And my call sign.
Per Kim.
Absolutely. YYL she needs all the credit for that. This is all about her and what she has done. She's absolutely right. So,
Hayden says, bro, do you even call CQ POTA on 18165?
And that should be on the backside of
yes. That's the one frequency.
I love it.
Specifically for Parks on the Air now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, folks, we're going to start wrapping it up here. Kim, any last words to anybody in the chat? Anything you want to say and do or promote, or you got anything going on? Absolutely. Take the podium.
Oh, I just, like I said, I'm kind of a 6 meter nerd, and 10 is great too, of course. But man, 6 meters would be great to get more people on there and make some noise, and call CQ over and over and over, and don't just listen for a little bit and decide that it's closed or whatever. Just keep calling, because you never know who also might be there, a local, and they're a new technician where they can get on 6 or 10, right? So you want to be there and be open arms, of course, and hams are so great. I've only run across a few bad apples, but man, for all the people I've talked to, most everybody is just great. It really is.
They are a very, very slight.
Yeah. It's a great hobby. I mean, I've made so many friends. I met Will, of course, and I met my friend Jenna, Whiskey Zero, Mike Alpha November, and just so many friends, great people, so shout out to all them. So I really appreciate them. So.
Thank you for being the one of many ambassadors over there on the West Coast, promoting, I like to say, sprinkling the RF.
Yeah.
just thank you, and we deeply appreciate you coming on. We say this to everybody, and we say it always very sincerely. Please come back.
I will.
Anytime.
Listen, you got my email. Hey, all
Okay.
you gotta do is say, "Hey, Izzo, I want to hang out in the clubhouse." I don't care if you have a sticker,
Okay.
if you got, whatever. You just listen. If you need a break from life, and I say this
Oh,
very
that's nice.
sincere,
I appreciate that.
I say that very sincere because we all have a lot of things going on at home, with work, with whatever. The clubhouse, we don't always talk about radio. I know we got to stretch here, boys and girls.
Yeah, several weeks now we've talked about radio.
But guess what? We got several weeks where we're not going to talk radio.
That's true.
We need to balance the scales here. But seriously, you just want to hang out.
Oh,
I would love. I think we need to bring you and Carlos on.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I think that would be because I want to see how long can Carlos be good without saying a bad word. I mean,
he's a gentleman. So.
Is that Carlos? Life at Terminal Velocity?
Yes.
That is the one.
We love him dearly.
Yeah. I worked him when he was parachute mobile on 10 meters.
Nice.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I love it.
Yeah. He actually did a YouTube video of that.
He is a gentleman. He is a gentleman, but I know he's going to slip up. I can't. Just like me and Shane, listen, we're all going to slip up. I think it would be great to see him busting from the jaws there.
So let me say, my dad was in the Navy. So my dad has had quite a mouth over the years. So, so I've learned a thing or two.
We're still
gentleman-like.
We are still very gentleman. Absolutely.
One other thing too is that my dad, like I said, he was in the Navy, and he was in the Navy from 54 to 58. But what's really interesting too is originally from Ohio, and he came out here, joined the Navy, and he was stationed at Coronado, the naval base down there, right?
Yeah.
So we later on, my husband and I and our son would go camping, still go camping there at Silver Strand State Beach, which is right there, right next to the naval base. So my dad always thought that was so funny that he was in the Navy there, and now we're camping down there. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It brings you right back.
Yeah. And then they have a toll bridge too. I don't want to keep you if you don't want to say, but they had a toll bridge they were paying. And I remember back in the 80s, probably 86 or something like that, where I had to actually stop and pay and throw some money in the toll bridge.
Throw some coins in there.
Yeah. And now there's no toll now there. So it's kind of funny. I always joke with my husband, he's probably doesn't want to hear anymore. I say, I remember when I had to put money in that thing.
I wish they would do that around Dallas, because they seem these toll roads seem to go on in perpetuity.
Yeah,
they never seem to go away. They don't take the tolls away for some reason.
Right. Well, my husband and I are really mad because the 10 they added this express lane. Right. Well, we've been paying forever, of course, like everybody else, for the freeways, and now we have to pay for the express lane to use it. Yeah, that's baloney. That's baloney.
I agree.
So anyway, enough about that. But no, it's been so fun.
We are famous. We're famous. This is how the train jumps the track.
Yeah, so jump the rail.
Yeah.
Jump the shark.
Jump the shark. Exactly.
It always happens. Well, Kim, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure.
Well, if you guys ever need, somebody, you can just email me and say, hey, our guest dropped out. Are you available? I'll see if I'm available.
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely.
Do it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to drop you down for just a few minutes, and then we'll join you after we shut down the show. But once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for everybody, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But so if you haven't already, K6YYL Ham Radio Lady, if you go to @Ham Radio Lady on YouTube, youtube.com/@Ham Radio Lady, you can find Kim's YouTube channel. We started the night with 665 subscribers to Kim's channel, and let me refresh it. We are at 675. There's 92 of you watching, so I'd like to see this go up by an additional 92 people.
Easy. I'm definitely gonna subscribe.
Absolutely. The Clubhouse, we've already subscribed to your channel as well, so we'll take care of you there. But anyway, Izzo, you got anything you want to close the show with tonight?
Gonna try to get some activating done in maybe a week or two. It's the time change is always a challenge with work and everything, but stop complaining, Izzo. Just get out and do it. Maybe just the first thing is just get better. The first thing, just want to have a cigar, man. I am dying. I think probably by the weekend I'll I'll be healthy enough to get back into my normal, 1 to 3 cigars a day, 4 cigars a day, whatever, and just get back and do my thing.
I'm 1 to 2 cigars a week.
So I have a project that I thought I was going to be able to do this week. I just had no energy. I alluded to it last week. I bought something that I need to do, that I need to teach myself and learn to do. It has to do with some digital stuff and taking an HT and maybe being able to jump different reflectors. If I can, maybe some of you know what I'm talking about. I may have to learn about some kind of Raspberry Pi stuff or something. I want to see it before I start asking for help. I want to see what I can do with it and see what the YouTube world has out there for videos. I know there's probably a bajillion. So, but other than
probably going to be your first stop.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of them and maybe MCK, Jason, KM4 MCK.
Freddie Mac. Freddie Mac's usually got some good stuff on that too.
He was talking about that, a week or two ago. I did make a note of that. Let's see what else I got going on. Kids are coming home from college this weekend. This house will explode. The tree is up already. Jennifer and I decorated last week with Matthew. Matthew lost some wisdom teeth. He is his next stage of becoming an adult, or what it's like to and everything. He looked like a chipmunk. He was so cute.
Did you video coming off of the?
No, I was going.
Oh.
No, I was going to, but I said nah. But that's okay. I think his grandmother got a couple pictures of him. It's typical grandmas. But no, we're just getting ready for the holidays here up here in Connecticut. No snow yet. A lot of wind and rain coming in. Forecasted for tomorrow. But so just doing our thing, man. Hanging out on Clubhouse. Just want to get back in the grind of hanging out on the YouTube shows. And next week, man. Next week, like I said, we got the big guy coming. So. Who knows?
We have another guest next week, or just the big guy?
Just the big guy, and I'm wondering if maybe there'll be some antennas or some J poles he may want to give away as
quite possibly so.
You never know. Just call we'll call them the stocking stuffers, Shane.
There you go.
And what about you, Barbara? My brother, what do you got?
The only thing I've got this week is studying like crazy to get this exam passed. So I want to get this. This is a huge milestone for me to get that done. I went to the eye doctor yesterday, and I've had 20/20 vision my entire life, and I finally lost just enough in my distant vision that had to order a pair of glasses. So this week is going to be depressing for me. I had to get glasses. I have a colonoscopy coming up. So this whole turning 45.
You need to go on 80. You need to go on.
I'm 80 meters. I now have my 80 meter badge. I could go in and complain on 80 meters. So,
hey, we ought to say to our brother Steve, who's not feeling good. Steve, please get better. Joe Brett is on the road tonight. Molson is up there in Canada. Beer Snacks doing his thing. From everybody at the Clubhouse, I know sometimes there's a shuffling around over here. We are, believe it or not, we're all doing well. It's just that, just like everyone else. Yeah, life kind of throws us curveballs, some expected, some not expected, but we're all doing very well here. We're all healthy. All our families are all doing well. And we're looking forward to doing some wonderful things with everybody in 2025.
Absolutely. And I'll do a quick shout out before we shut the show down tonight. Colt 45 Terry, member for 24 months. Gray Man POTA, member for 15 months. Thank you guys. Four Wheel and Redneck, member for 24 months. Fantastic. TJS 1.0, thanks for the 22 months to the subscriber. TC Fitz, thanks for the $20 super chat. And of course, Daniel, he can kiss my butt, but thanks for the $20 Canadian. And Paul, thanks for the 5 gifted. Jody says Shane's odometer has rolled over to the scheduled maintenance required. Yep. And I'm gonna be responsible about it. I'm not gonna forget. But anyway, hopefully next week we'll have a full round of guests. Our crew will be back. Fingers crossed. We'll see. But if not, you know what? We'll make it happen. We'll make it work. So that's all I've got. Izzo 73 to everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.